You're in the edtech business. What's the most challenging part makes the business run? And how are you guys cracking that?
The most complex part of it is marketing. I mean, recently I started doing a lot of videos. I started putting out stuff out there because I noticed that we're not having a lot of like our faces out there, especially like from a founder perspective.
Yeah.
So I started investing more in like, okay, I think we need to show people more about like, okay, this is what we're actually building. This is what happens behind the scenes. This is how we are doing what we are doing. This is what we are doing right now and what we are planning to do as well. So I've been doing more of that. In fact, I think this month I shot like 6 videos.
Wow.
I shot 6 videos.
Wow.
I'm married to a content creator. So,
you are.
So I just batched that. I was like, okay,
so I'm not even started. Tea is already sweet. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the GAS Docuseries. My name is Victor Mesona, founder of Growth Buddy, and I'm so excited to be filming this episode because I have an amazing guest with me. Once again, the GAS Docuseries is powered by Growth Africa Summit. This is where we have conversations with great founders and growth operators doing amazing things in the African space. And with me today is an exceptional founder.
Please. Too much.
He's an exceptional founder. Don't worry. You will see very soon why I say he's an exceptional founder. I have Toyin Olasehinde with me. He's a co-founder of Treford, and I'm going to let Toyin introduce himself. Hi, Toyin.
Hi everyone. So, I mean, when you're introducing yourself, for a second, I was thinking it was in news. And so when you finish, I was like, and my name is but yeah, it's fine. So my name is Toyin Olasehinde. I'm the co-founder at Treford. I basically lead operations, work with the programs team. I also work with the content team as well. I ensure that, I mean, recently I started doing a lot of videos. I started putting out stuff out there because I noticed that we're not having a lot of like our faces out there, especially like from a founder perspective.
Yeah.
So I started investing more in like, okay, I think we need to show people more about like, okay, this is what we're actually building. This is what happens behind the scenes. This is how we are doing what we are doing. This is what we are doing right now and what we are planning to do as well. So I've been doing more of that. In fact, I think this month I shot like 6 videos.
Wow.
I shot 6 videos.
Wow.
I'm married to a content creator. So,
you are.
So I just batched that. I was like, okay,
so I'm not even started. Tea is already it's already spilling.
I mean, so I batch shot content. I'm like, okay, I already told the team again. Next month, if you guys have anything, just let me know.
Cool.
Right. So yeah, I mean. So
he's a founder and content creator extraordinaire.
Like this.
In addition.
Like this.
Okay, so guys, GAS Docuseries is brought to you by Growth Africa Summit, like I said, powered by Growth Buddy. And by the way, if you've not gotten your tickets for Growth Africa Summit, you better go and get your ticket now. Really selling out very fast. Well, let's head right into it. To start, I'll be asking you some icebreaker questions.
Oh yeah, no, I'm ready.
2 set of icebreaker questions.
Don't make it too hard.
No, it's icebreaker, no hard, don't worry. So first one is, if you were not a founder in tech and all of that, not in corporate space, what would you be?
Not in the corporate space at all.
Not in the corporate space at all.
Okay, so in recent time, I've been thinking of being a DJ, actually. So if I make money,
I can see it.
I'll probably be a DJ. I feel like, cause like even when I'm doing like maybe little parties and stuff like that, like just family and friends, even with my staff, I'm the one that's always playing music, and I switch music and all of that.
What kind
of
music
times.
do you listen to?
Every type of music. So far, it's good music. My taste
is that
very
genre?
No, I don't. Okay. Unfortunately, so I have a lot of R&B's, pop, 90s, 2000s, rap, a little bit of rap. I think my rap dropped a little bit because while growing up, I used to listen to Eminem, Jay-Z, Ja Rule, and the likes. But I think it dropped like.
Do you listen to African music? Burna Boy?
Yes, no, all of that. Normal Afrobeat, yes, definitely.
Okay.
But I think I'm very versatile when it comes to movies and music. So I don't have any preference. Once it's good, it's good. So
your alter ego would have been a DJ?
Yes, I think so. Maybe in another life it would have changed. Maybe I'll be selling food. Yeah, because I like food.
I can't even delve into that.
So I think I'll be a food seller because I feel like food is one thing that will always sell. So if you do it right,
people must eat.
Yeah, so if you do it right, you won't lack. Like you have business. So I think food is another thing that I would really be interested in.
Okay.
Even though for the dangers of food business, I probably would have delved into it. So started doing something.
I see. Yeah. I see the vision. One of our founders was into the food business. Okay, so these next icebreakers are like 2 words. You don't need to think too much. You don't need to explain. Just pick one word. Okay. Example: tea or coffee?
Tea.
Fried rice or jollof rice?
Jollof rice. Why? No, nothing against fried rice, by the way.
Justice for fried rice.
No, nothing against fried rice, by the way. But jollof, it has that.
Okay, pounded yam or semo?
Pounded what?
Sorry, I didn't know I had a semo auntie.
No, I'm not anti.
There are people who are passionately against semo, but no.
I'm my taste buds very wide. I don't.
Okay, but you can't
issues.
Put them on the same
But
pedestal.
pounded yam and semo, no, now. In fact, so recently, I think last month or 2 months ago, I traveled home, and then when I was coming back from my parents' place, I came back with a lot of pieces of yam, like tubers of yam and stuff. And every night, like for like a week, every like 3 times in a week, because I got a new pounding machine. 3 times a week, I was pounding yam. I didn't care about anything.
Wow.
I was just like, what's going on? You're eating pounding yam? I'm like, yes, it's just both of us, and there's a pounding machine. There's yam. What are you waiting for?
You pound the yam.
Cool. Use it.
Got it.
So,
early bird or night owl? Like, are you a morning?
I'm a night owl. I slept 4 a.m. today, so
my kindred spirit right there. Instagram or LinkedIn?
Instagram. I don't do a lot of Instagram though.
Okay, what social media platform or Twitter? Let me put
I'm more of a Twitter person.
Oh, you are a Twitter person. Okay.
I'm more of a Twitter person. Yeah, X.
For political correctness.
Yeah, I'm more of a X person. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Last one. Result oriented or people oriented?
I have to think about this one. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Take
10 seconds.
So the thing is, I don't know, it's 50-50 for me because of my leadership style, I give people too much grace sometimes. So even when I know that this is what we are like working towards, even when you like drag and all of that, I have that tendency to give people a lot of like leeway.
That sounds like people oriented.
Yeah, so yeah, people oriented. But I'm changing. Startup life has taught me.
It will toughen you up.
Yeah, so I've changed a little bit.
Good. I like that we're already delving into startup life because that would be my first question. So tell us a bit about your background, a bit about yourself, and how you got into the startup ecosystem. Jungle.
Oh God.
That is the African startup ecosystem.
Don't do startup, guys.
Don't try this at home.
So, interesting fact is, so I think, like I told you, I just started like putting stuff, like just writing and just sharing stuff about what we're doing much more. And I think it was 2 weeks ago, because this week 3. So 2 weeks ago, I shared on my LinkedIn. I was like, there was a time I actually auditioned for Nigerian Idols.
You did?
In 2011, actually. So yeah. So I shared that. So I actually put on my WhatsApp stories, I think the week before that week, I put that on LinkedIn. I actually like wrote about like everything I touched on, like in my life. And like some people were like, what are you doing?
That's like, very diverse, very wide.
So I think starting from when I was little, I used to actually like business, the idea of like doing something, selling something to people. So there was a time that my former neighbor moved out of their house. I used to have like a close friend of mine who his school was like somewhere in, I think, Mushin or something. I can't really remember now. And then he started exposing me to comic books, DC, Marvel, and all of that. So I started giving him money sometimes, like, okay, help me buy. And then sometimes he would also buy and bring to my house. So we would read and all. And then my neighbor moved out of their house. So I was like, his name is Shay. Then I don't really know where Shay is right now. I said, Shay, we should start a comic rental business. And that's how I started a comic rental business. But unfortunately, like, it was not something, we were little. I was like 10 then. So we didn't have any, like, nothing. So we sort of like, when the neighbor left the house, when they moved out of the house, nobody was there. It was empty. So we used the windows as our, like, we placed all the comics there. As our shelf, exactly. So place the comics there, and then it was one Egbon like that in the area that made us close down the business. When he will come and rent comic, he will not pay us. Nobody told us before we shut it down. Like, guys, this is not working. X. And then I think after my primary 6, when I was going into GS1, I started selling toys. You know the soldier toys?
Yeah, I used to love those.
Yeah, so I started selling them to one of my other neighbors. That one, I think his mom and his dad, they had a pharmacy store at Ikosi. So I used to tell him to help me buy toys. So he would bring it home and then I'll sell. So he was like my partner in the business.
Entrepreneurship already.
So I sort of already had that
thing for business. So how about Treford? How did Treford happen?
It was a very interesting thing. So myself and my co-founder now, Harry. Harry
Great
is
guy,
yes.
by the way.
So Harry used to be my manager.
Oh.
Yeah. So myself and Harry, we've known each other for what month are we? This is August, right?
Yeah.
So September will be our 11th year to knowing each other and working together, actually. So in 2014, I think when I got into university, then I think in 2012 or OAU then. So I was supposed to study microbiology, but then they put me in geophysics. And God, geophysics was hard. Anybody that did geophysics will tell you. Yeah. So like after my first and second semester, I was like, I can't stay here.
Okay.
So I already had experience working with an online radio station at the time. I think I spent like 2 years with them. I was also doing that while I was in school already at some point. So I think what happened was I took a leave of absence from geophysics to switch to another department, something that I felt more comfortable with, which was psychology. And psychology. So I think what happened was, so I saw this startup on campus then. It was founded by some people that just left, that finished from OAU, and then they just started their own base there. Yeah. And so I reached out to Harry, courtesy one of my friends then that used to be at one of my seniors then that used to be at JCI. No, is it JCI or I can't remember. YDI. Sorry, YDI. Okay. Yeah, so we went to the place together and I was like, so I noticed that these guys did not have, this small startup, they did not have like any, I saw engineers in a room. Yeah. And then I saw like engineering students that were software engineers. And then I saw Harry and then, but really not a lot of people in the other office. So I was like, so when we walked up to him, I was like, that I could work in your customer service team. I can see that you guys have engineers. Yeah. We work on a customer service team and then like in exchange, you guys teach me graphics because they were doing branding and software for like businesses and individuals. So that's how I started my tech journey, like proper. Nice. I already started working before them, but that was how I started like doing anything tech properly in 2014. So I had an interview the next day with him, and then after the interview, he gave me like, okay, you can resume at so time. Then I was on leave of absence, so I was not doing anything with my time. My parents did not understand why I was not coming home. One, they also did not understand why, like they expected me to like maybe, okay, now that you're in school, just be going to the classes since it's a public school, like nobody will know really if you attend the class and just take notes and no, but I was not having all of that. So that was how I started like doing anything in tech. And then down the line, we started to discover that there were more people like us that were not engineers, but that were interested in like getting into tech, basically. And the more we started to look at it, the more it started to make sense that at the end of the day, you can't just build and expect the product to either work by itself just like that. You need someone to validate your idea. You need someone to help with like carrying out research about the product and its viability. You need someone to even test the product for you.
Absolutely. So
properly.
Entire ecosystem.
You want exactly so, and then you need someone to market. You need someone to sell. You need someone to support. You need someone to give your customers good experience. And so the list keeps expanding and we're like, so there's actually like something here. We can actually, try to reach people that are trying to get into tech, but not as engineers, because according to Glassdoor, I think the last time we checked, it's still over 50% of people. And even when you check every startup, like aside from the engineering part, you just find out that the rest are just non-engineering people. Yeah. So who caters for all of these guys? Yeah. Another very prominent factor is the part that even when we were in school, there were a lot of like already established engineering communities. For instance, like there was GDG, that's Google Developers Group. There was like different. There was a Python group. I remember one of my friends was in a Django community as well. Then, and then a couple of other things. And there was this jointness between computer science students that were, software engineers or other people that are trying to get into engineering. They always would go into like the computer science department to go and mingle with those people. So like, how do we help the people that are now non-engineers to figure out what
people in the limbo?
Like how to help them. So that was literally what started the whole idea of Treford. Actually, that's the genesis.
Got it. And what would you say, just building up from that, were the early challenges as you started to morph this into a business, like in the edtech market? What were the challenges? I don't disagree.
Edtech is actually hard, and I feel like the landscape in Africa and Nigeria also makes it harder. And this is how I see it, unfortunately. So if you look at the what we need to survive, for instance, as Africans or as Nigerians, for instance, now person we don't chop would think of learning. Unfortunately, like it is what it is. By the time you look at the hierarchy of like what are the things that a person would typically need, right? You want to satisfy quite a number of things before you get to. Okay, so imagine an average Nigerian now. I mean, I think for people it differs, but most likely you want to ensure that if you have a child, at least you can give the child food. You can give the child like at least clothing. Give the child shelter.
Absolutely, those basic things.
First. And we are struggling with those basic things first in Nigeria and in Africa. So it makes education not very high on
in the list of priorities.
Exactly, like it's not always very high. And then when you now get into adulthood where you are now the one catering for these bills by yourself, it becomes very challenging, and it needs conscious effort for you to say, I need to upskill, I need to like do this with my career and all of that. You need to like deliberately commit to it. So it's very, very, edtech is hard, and it comes with its own challenges. It's not particularly the easiest, right? Because of some of these like economic factors, right? And then there's now the part of do you have the market actually
for it,
right? Like how many people are actually in Africa? Nigeria, for instance, they say okay, 200 million. So, I mean, a lot of decks have that 200 million, but I mean, out of that 200 million, how many people can actually afford to cut out like maybe 200k from their monthly salary, like, or even 200k maybe over the space of 3 months? Like, I'm sure that the average Nigerian rather is that probably eat. Or like maybe even buy fuel for their generator because there's no electricity.
I'll get health insurance.
Exactly. So like there's a lot of like things that comes in the hierarchy that you have to battle with as someone in
So how did you guys battle it rather?
We are still battling it.
I agree, but like I'm looking for that perspective of early founders, early stage, so before you got to this phase.
I think for us it's just rapid experimentation. That is what it is. I won't lie to you. So our first 2 programs were physical. We had like physical programs at first. One in Ife, one in Ibadan. This was in 2019. Fast track to 2020, and we were already planning the next set of locations actually at the time.
COVID.
This was before COVID, by the way. Before COVID, like we were like going into 2020, we were like, okay. In fact, we started selling some partnerships in Akure, and we already talked to some people in Lagos as well. And then COVID happened. Now, as COVID happened, I think before COVID even happened, we started asking ourselves some questions like, okay, like if this thing becomes bigger than this, what are we actually going to do with all these plans that we have? And so we're like, I think I remember it was Harry that raised the suggestion that maybe we should, experiment with webinars, because it seems virtual would be the way to go with this COVID thing that's happening.
Now
it took a serious mindset shift for us to try out like virtual stuff. So we started with like webinars, and the webinars were mostly focused on like how do you monitor, because when COVID started, it was not common for companies, especially Nigerian companies. Maybe for companies outside Nigeria, some of them might be practicing hybrid stuff. But for Nigerian companies, it was a totally new experience.
Yes.
Like, imagine the oga that is used to even forcing you to come to the office every day, just out of this whole condition, finding out that he cannot tell you, be at the office tomorrow by 8 a.m. He can't tell you that.
Trust me, there are some people pray that we get a second wave of COVID just because we want to stay at home. You are one. Okay.
So I mean, that period, I think companies had to, change a lot of things.
Yeah.
Companies that were not used to doing and using tech tools had to start adopting learning. Some of them that always had Microsoft Teams that were not really using it, they now had to start learning how to use it.
Yeah.
Some people some people also, I think during that period, we also reported like cases of marriages breaking, right? There were cases of more quarrels. There were cases of people also overworking themselves and burning out.
Yeah.
As well. So there were a lot of things that were affecting the work spectrum. So we now started to focus on those things. Like, okay, let's have webinars to teach companies like, how do you manage your employee performance when they are not coming in to check in physically?
Remote
working. How do you, as a staff, how do you ensure that you manage your time properly,
so
work
your
effectively, and
audience
all of
then
that?
was companies or individuals?
It was actually individuals, but we brought in professionals from companies to take those sessions.
Okay.
So, and then we use that as like the experiment. Okay, let's see how people actually like react to virtual sessions. And so after that, when we saw the reaction, we're like, okay, I think this is a sign. And so we now tried the virtual programs, and then that was how and then we've done another set of experiments after then as well. So I mean, I think it's just rapid experimentation. I think that's what it is. Like, once you think that there's a gap, just try it out. What's the worst that can happen? Like,
you will start again.
Exactly. Or you just scrap it.
Guys, I mean, you should write that down. That makes a lot of sense. So let's pivot to the now. You currently lead people, products, and operations. That's like 3 massive hats to be wearing at the same time. How are you balancing all of these hats?
So,
and is there a focus, or is like all 3 have the same attention?
So I think for the product side, Harry does stuff on the product side a lot more than myself. Actually, we just sync on that.
Okay.
But maybe because of my own product experience, that's just why.
Okay.
But I'm more heavy on like the startup. You do everything. I'm sorry to say.
I agree.
I can't really say that this is what I do and this is what I don't do.
And the chief servant officer.
Yeah, that's what I actually call myself. So like, I sort of like do everything actually.
Okay.
I'm a generalist. So for my tech journey, after I started working at that startup, I moved from customer service because I already did like social media and PR before then. I did customer service. I did digital marketing. From there to biz dev. From biz dev to I led the biz dev team. From there, I did Scrum Master. From there, I pivoted to product management. So I could pretty much like function as a one-man team. Maybe the only thing I might not do for is write the code.
Hey, okay, got it. So what is assigned to you within Treford? What's the JD that is assigned to you?
There's a part that I wanted to say, but I told myself so you don't get kidnapped. So I just shut up. So okay. So I mean, so because we have live programs, we have like programs and schedule and stuff that we do. So I work closely with the programs team, right? So all the curricula that that have to follow our programs, everything around structuring it, all of that, and then also facilitators, instructors, managing that relationship with them. Yeah, all of that stuff also falls under my purview as well. Yeah, a couple of other operational stuff.
That makes sense. How would you say the team at Treford is? And what would you say is like a driving factor for your team in terms of good practices, performance, and maintaining culture, and all of that?
I think it starts from the top, actually. I mean, I'm not trying to beat our own like trumpet, not blow our own trumpet now,
blow it.
I think that because I also run another startup, but I think that the startup Treford right now, the 2 people leading Treford team, I think they're excellent people. So myself and my co-founder, so I think we're like the best set of founders you could work with. Right? So they get their own motivation from us actually. Right? So when you help people to be the best version of themselves, you get to find like the people are motivated to actually just turn up for work and do what they need to do. right? I mean, obviously it has its downsides, yeah, because like I said, me, I'm a people person, so I tend to give people a lot of leeway. So yeah, it has its own downsides, but yeah, I think it starts from the top. So every time you find like companies that actually have certain culture, just check the people at the top.
Founders, yeah, the one that set the tone for culture. That's like so great. So let's turn to operations a bit.
Okay.
You're in the edtech business. You're training people within tech to do no code tech things. What's the bulkiest or most challenging part of that operations, like the day-to-day or the turnkey? How do you go about like fitting those nuts, screws? What makes the business run, and how are you guys cracking that?
I think the most complex part of it is marketing.
Okay.
When it comes to like relationships, getting the right kind of like instructors, building out the right kind of curricula and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that is like our own strength a lot.
Okay.
Like we are big on that. Like, I mean, recently there's some conversations around like certain trainings and all of that online, but I was like, people need to do better in certain areas. Yeah. But for us, we are actually like big on that entire process of how do people perceive the experience, the learning experience is very, very important for us. So after every session, even down to a 1 hour session, we always tell people like, give us feedback. What did you, aside from what did you learn, like how do you think we can be better?
Yeah.
So those things are very, very important for us.
Agreed.
Because it helps us to know, okay, how do we improve on this the next time? So when it comes to like building out the learning experience for our learners, it's not the most challenging part per se. Because one of the targets we gave ourselves when we started doing this whole virtual thing was, let's try to build the experience so good that it's like you're actually live in person,
class.
like you are physically there.
Yeah.
That was like our target when we started the whole life. So we are always trying to build out for that type of experience. So I don't think that is a problem.
Okay.
But where it gets a little bit tricky is where, imagine you have like 5, 6, 4 different programs,
and you have to push them.
Yeah, and you have to push them, and then you still have a platform that is self-paced that you have to like push in faces of people. So that part gets a little bit complex sometimes.
And that's when you call growth party now. That's when you
no.
bring that's when you bring us. I'm blowing my own trumpets.
So at that point it gets tricky because you now have to start thinking of what type of strategies do you want to implement to make it work, and then you have to start experimenting some things here and there, and then sometimes you're also limited by your own budget too.
That's it. That one's safe day.
Yeah, so you're also limited by your own budget too, right? So it's I think the whole growth and marketing side is actually the toughest. If I had to pick one side, I think that would be the toughest.
Yeah. So what's one thing that you would say Treford is doing differently from competitors in the edtech space?
In the edtech space. Okay. So I think for us it's there's this thing that people say that I think it's not people, maybe it's ex-founders that say that the best problem that you can solve is the problem that you've experienced by yourself. So we've experienced the problems that we are trying to solve right now for people that use or join Treford or anything. And so the solution that we have built out, or the solution that we always prefer, is born out of our own sufferings, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like it's out of the pain and like hunger of trying to figure out something, like figure out a solution to something that you're reading online, or you've learned something and you now have to start trying to practice it. Like it's that particular suffering that we try to. I'll give you an example. So my co-founder Harry was telling me which day was it, not last 2 weeks, he was on my neck like, Toyin, we need to finish our fintech product management curriculum. We need to finish it. And we've been talking about this for a while, but it was like, so last year we had like the first edition of it. It was just a masterclass that was for 6 weeks, and we touched on different areas in fintech product management. But this time around, we're like, let's go deeper into it. Let's touch a lot of other things and all. And then I was like, I don't have time because there's a number of things I needed to do. But it was like, okay, that will give me a head start. So he started, and then he shared Doc with me. And it was probably the things that kept me up late till night. I was literally like reviewing everything. When I, like, at first review, I was like, this is perfect. Like, it works. But then I had to go back to it, and I literally had to think of myself as a 3-year PM with experience or 4-year PM with experience in PM, and I'm trying to transition into fintech. What is everything I need to learn if, assuming I need to rely on Treford for this thing?
Yeah.
So like, we are literally involved in solving that problem. So we are looking at it from a need perspective.
Yeah.
So after that, we now rely on like experts as well that are already practicing to also review whatever it is that our programs, or even myself or Harry comes up with. And then they are giving us their own feedback even before we push any of these things out there, any of this content out there. So there's a lot of thinking. There's a lot of process that goes into that content
so much
that people are consuming. Yes, there's a lot of intention and attention to that detail of what you are consuming. And that is why if you have like anyone that's attending a travel program, like especially like learning with us, you would most likely really see a bad feedback. Maybe out of 10, you probably see maybe 1 or nothing.
That makes a lot of sense. And that's like big flex, something to be...
It's big flex.
To be something to be proud of. Okay. What would you say the future of edtech is in Africa? Like, where are we going? What's going to change in the next 5-10 years? Or what's going to become bigger? What are the trends that you guys are already observing?
So I think that for... I think AI will be a big thing. Maybe because there's also the part of saying, I mean, people always say this, that, oh, you people have not even solved the basic problems and you're talking about AI. Like that talk always happens a lot. But I feel like there is that advent of AI and impact of AI on like whatever it is that we are currently doing today.
Okay.
How it will now be utilized is what I do not know yet. Right? But I feel like it will influence a lot of the things that people are doing today. For instance, for us now, we are trying to build out something with AI, and it's going to be like a learning assistant and some other things that we're trying to put in place to just help people. And again, we don't focus on just people that are trying to get in. We also focus on in. How do you stay in?
How do you upskill?
How do you upskill? Exactly. So those are like some of the things that would, influence. Like that's one of the things that I think AI would help people to do. I also think that aside from how people choose to use it, I feel like solutions will come out of of AI generally. Currently, I mean, a lot of fintech solutions are building our stuff with AI these days. So I feel like that will happen. It might take some time though, because it's Africa. It might take some time. But it would eventually catch up at some point.
I agree. I think that context or that precision about it's Africa is like so important. Recently I was on a trip, right, and I attended a meeting or an event that was put together by the government, and it was showcasing government grants geared at incentivizing companies to use AI. I was blown away. Like, the government, this is Singapore, by the way, the government was...
But I think there was something like that in Nigeria
rolling out. Like, I mean, then it needs to be announced better. Like,
yes, I agree with you.
If you have a project that is AI, it's not like you're pitching, it's not startup funding now. It's like existing companies and you want to use AI to improve your processes. Let's say you want to go from manual HR to like HRL systems that use AI or leverage AI, or you want to optimize your own operations with AI. There are grants that are going to like cover that up to 80%. Like, it's beautiful. Like, it's one thing to build new startups in AI and all of that.
Yeah, it's one thing to
it's another
optimize
thing.
like an already existing one that is actually like existing.
Yeah, and I feel like the countries that will lead in this AI revolution are those that are intentional about
it.
how
Yes.
it integrates with. It's not always about new, like, oh, what can AI do that is new? Like, what can we create? But how it integrates to our
With the
everyday.
existing and yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that 100%.
that's a game changer. Okay, so we're slowly edging to like the last half of this chat, and I want to talk about your experience as a founder.
Okay.
What is the most challenging part about being a founder?
Okay, so I think the hardest part did I say hardest part or parts?
Parts, okay.
It looks like it's a lot. It's more than one.
Prioritize.
I mean, okay, so I think it will be I don't know why I can't pick one right now, but
Okay, pick two.
so I think one of the major things is like managing your personal life and work.
So that balance.
I think that balance, because sometimes you just find yourself doing a lot, and sometimes you forget. Oh, there's one part I was going to mention. So you just find yourself doing a lot, and then sometimes you just like your mind is like not clocking certain information that you're supposed to maybe hold for personal stuff.
Yeah.
For instance, like 2 days ago or thereabout, I think I miscalculated something. Like I just like mixed up something. I was like so sometimes you just have like a lot of things
Going
on to deal with, like personally, and then you have like the pressure of this thing, you have to grow it. Then you have people that are relying on you and that you are depending on as well to
Absolutely.
also help you with your business.
Yeah.
So like every month I'm like, so this month end goes so rich again. They're like, he's already month end again. Can somebody come and take this body away? So I mean, so there's that actually. So I think that's like. Then the second one is sometimes I want to outsource decision making. Yeah, because like you find out that like every time you have to like keep making a lot of decisions that can actually impact the business in positive way or in negative way. So sometimes if I could see the outcome before making that decision,
It would be good.
it would be good, honestly. But like some decisions could be as little as, like this cup, should I leave it here or move it? Because guess what? If I leave it here, maybe I just mistake kick it and then it falls.
Yeah.
Like just as little as that could be. Like that's how crazy it can be, where you have to just make it. So I think like those two things sometimes are like the hardest things for me, especially that decision. Sometimes even down to my like how we translate into my personal life. Sometimes I sort of fall into like, is it decision paralysis now or what they call it?
Analysis paralysis.
I don't like decision paralysis where I don't even like. Sometimes I'll just tell my partner like, okay, so what do you think? Like you would ask me a question.
She's
like,
the one asking you.
Okay, so should we do that? I'm like, anyone you like, Jerry, because I'm already exhausted.
Stressed. I'm making too many decisions here.
So
to come and be making decisions.
And unfortunately, sometimes people actually need your input.
Absolutely.
For some things, but when you now give them that vibe of anyone you want, even to your friends, like sometimes
it comes off not the best.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
So I think those two things.
That's a sweet spot, because the founder life is generally the decision life.
Yeah.
Most times you're making lots of decisions in a single day.
Yeah. And even down to growing the business, because that one is also another problem because you're thinking about it's part of the decision.
How do I scale?
Exactly. So
oh my goodness. Okay, so how are you then managing? What is like the system or structure in your life that helps to maybe not balance, but at least regulate this work-life thing? What strategies or tips do you have?
It's your strategy. Just be a happy person and do what you like. Like do what you enjoy.
like.
Really. I'm serious. Like just do what you enjoy. I mean, I'm a happy person. So I was on a call with one of my
tell.
Yeah, I was on a call with one of my other on a call with one of my other staff in my other company, and so randomly my wife walks past and then she's like, I was saying something, I was cracking a joke on the call, and then we were all laughing, and my wife was like, I muted my mic. She was like, someone will not even know that you are their boss like this. Why are you like this? So then she walked past. I now told them, I was like, see what this person said, though.
Yeah.
She was like, please don't change, you, because I'm like, that maybe I should even change. Maybe our level will change. Maybe people. But they're like, please don't change. I was like, yes, that would, in fact, I would change to the extent that before we start our stand up in the morning, we'll pray first. Then people will now sing, on a mandate, we will stand so that you know that I'm the one here.
I've actually been, like, fun fact, I've actually been in a meeting with one of the tier 1 banks in Nigeria. I would not mention name, but tier 1, that I joined the call and then they say, okay, then they called one of their colleagues and like, sick on the call, like, oh yeah, please, so let's say a word of prayer. I was stunned. I was like, that's what we're doing here.
I mean,
I didn't know whether to be impressed or to be surprised.
So sometimes it happens, right? I mean, me, I don't shout. But I mean, I'm just saying
maybe
that
it's prayer we need.
I mean, just be happy. In fact, there was one time that I always told them that before you start coding, just pray on the code or pray on the, like, because at this point, because you get some problems where you go face, you be like, before you start your stand up.
Only God can
just
save.
joking, by the way. But then, I mean, just be a happy person.
Okay.
Like, and try to think about, yourself as well, right? As much as possible. You see that overworking that you are doing and all. If anything should happen to you, if anything happens to you, all the struggle and everything just goes for nothing. Right? So as much as possible, prioritize your health. I think that part is very, very important.
That makes sense.
So once you're healthy, you might not get enough sleep, to be honest. I won't lie to you. I'm not here to lie to you. You won't get enough sleep, unfortunately. So sometimes I sleep a lot. Like, I try to sleep. I try to sleep. So any little time that I have, I just try to use it to sleep. Unfortunately, I don't sleep easily. So
I get it.
To other people that can't sleep, once you have that small window, please sleep. Let your mind take that rest.
Do you take vacations, like, once in a while?
Which vacations?
I'm just asking.
Is each month?
Okay, maybe no. It doesn't have to be expensive. Like, just a break from work.
Go to, like, Abuja, Abi.
No, even if you're not going anywhere, just break. Like, I'm not working this week.
I can't do that, unfortunately. Unfortunately,
I'm looking for one Yoruba line.
For instance, I told one of my staff this month. I told him, he had been with me for like a year plus, year and a half or thereabout. I was like, okay, when are you planning for your leave? And he said, that he's okay, because he was working somewhere for like 7 years and he had not taken, like, he's not used to taking. He's like, that leave, that should be, we are not a lot on the team, so he doesn't have, like, he's fine working. I'm like, no, plan your leave for next month. Take a week off. Just
take your own advice.
I was like, shame me, I'll be fine.
No, like, really, take your own advice. I can just 1 week, and it will be great. So here's the thing, right? Even if you won't do it for yourself, do it for your team. I used to say that as well from, like, me, like, Growth Party. Before this year, I never walked away completely. Like, there are sometimes like, okay, guys, I am a bit down, but I'm still responding. And then I'm like, wait, what will happen if I walked away? So I'm like, you know what? For my birthday, I am going off. I appointed an interim CEO, and I said, I do not want to hear anything about Growth Party for 1 whole week. I didn't think it was possible, but it was not just for me. Like, I could have gone on my vacation and still be, but I wanted to, and it was great for them. I think you should try.
Sometimes, so what I do sometimes, I try to regulate. So sometimes I tell people that I'm the boss, so I can regulate my work. I can overwork, underwork, work. So I do that sometimes, actually. So that sort of makes up for. Sometimes I'm on my bed and I'm literally working. I don't stand up. I just stay on my phone. I've probably done a lot more. Right? So sometimes I do that just to regulate the whole thing. I don't force myself to stand up. It's already 8 o'clock. You need to go have a bath, stand up and face the PC, do your meetings.
No, that doesn't even work.
I don't do that at all, because I know that there are times that I might end up doing that till, like, maybe I might end up sitting like that for like 10 hours, maybe I myself. So I don't pressure myself. I try to sometimes do less, like not put a lot on my plate deliberately. Then sometimes I just do a lot and then do. So that's what I try to do, is regulate stuff.
Okay. When you do decide to take one, if you do, please let us know so you can celebrate and update our audience. Okay, cool. So what's something that you wish you knew about business, like running a business and all of that, before you started? Like, maybe now, before you started, or when you just started at the beginning, that you didn't know then.
That question. I'm trying to think. I already knew running a business was hard.
Okay.
So if maybe I did not know that part, maybe I would have. But if they had told me that maybe like this number of years into it and I might not have made this type of money yet, maybe I would have thought twice.
Yeah, they're multiplying money here. Money making scheme.
Yes, now like if I knew that 5 years into it or 6 years, 5 years into it, you've not made XX amount of money. I'll tell you how far. I think we should
Let's go 9
let's
to 5.
rethink this thing, or find a way to. But I think for me personally, I think I would have always ended up like doing something startup pay, because like either I would work in one definitely, or I would have ended up being taken by someone else to say, guys, let's build something together. So yes, I think for me, I don't think it was going to be. I think it just startup just chose me like that. So I've accepted it until I'm tired of it.
Great. So Toyin, it's been like an amazing last, 30 plus minutes having this conversation, right? What is something you would say to a new founder, an advice you would give to a new founder?
So I think the advice would be from experience, and it's not easy, right? So nobody's going to save you. Unfortunately, it's the truth. I was talking to a staff that was trying to like build something and all. I was like, I feel like sometimes you just need to choose your battles, right? And when you choose to become a founder and you want to start something, just know that it's you, yourself, and maybe God or whatever it is that you believe in. Every other person, like maybe your family, your support systems, they come like next. But most times you need to be self-motivated every morning. Like literally you have to wake up in the morning knowing fully well that you have a business to grow. You have XX number of people to pay at the end of the month, or for the next 3, 4, 5 months. You need to think about all of that. So it's nobody's coming to save you. So you need to be sure that it's something you want to do first. So if you're a first time founder or early founder, like you need to agree and convince yourself that I want to do this thing, and if you want to do it, then you need to do it right. And what that means is that you need to treat people well, right? You need to be sure of what you are building, that they are actually like people that would use this thing that I'm trying to build, or they are like customers or prospects or whatever it is, and also ensure that you have the right support around you when the time comes, because you will definitely need it. So I think
that makes a lot of sense, guys. You want to make sure, be sure that this is what you want to do before you go in. I mean, if I don't have this question, I will keep thinking about it. Let me just ask you.
Sure.
So your name is Toyin Olasehinde.
Yes.
Are you related to Toyin Olasehinde?
I'm not. Maybe our grandfather.
Probably. There's a connection.
There's something somewhere, but no. I'm not.
Okay.
I get that a lot.
I know. I mean,
so
beyond just the.
I'm curious to even ask her one of these days.
You should.
Do people ask her if she's related to me? So maybe I need to be popular enough.
Your PR.
I feel like that's what it is.
It's PR.
So I need to do my own too. I need to be popular too. So maybe when I blow,
no problem.
I'll be popular.
It isn't just the surname itself, it's the fact that it's like Toyin, Tosin.
Yeah, it's too similar.
Yeah.
I get that question.
Yeah.
Like, not a lot, but like most times people ask me like, are you related to me? I'm not too. Maybe I met our forefathers.
Cool. Is there any last words that you have as we wrap up?
I don't have any last words. I think I already said it in my like summation already. Like the last thing I said, like just be sure before you go into it, and if you choose to go into it, be a good person, be a kind person. Then have the support system in place, and be sure of what you are building. Absolutely. That you have people that don't go into it with hope that like you have this idea in your head, you think that something. Validate it with as little, even if you don't have a tech yet. If it's just validating the idea with something as little as forms or like the service itself, just be sure before you now invest all your time and everything into it. I mean, there are people that started companies while they were still working. Right? And then they now decide that,
this is what I want to do.
Focus full time. So I think
actually I just want to chip in one question because of what you said now. Are you open to mentoring young founders? Is that something you've considered? Am I putting you on the
I need
spot? You need
mentoring,
every but like there's mentorship.
So
Would that be something you
because
would
I already like I mentor like a number of like people like
Okay.
product managers and all of that and all of that.
but not founders
Well,
per
not
se.
founders per se. Although I have like a founders community that I'm an ESCO in, but I don't mentor them. It's senior people like me,
Got
or
it,
even
got it,
much
got
more
it.
senior than myself. But definitely, I mean, I think even with ALX, I think I talk to their founders community once in a while.
Okay.
So definitely,
If someone reaches out, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Happy to.
Great. Thank you so much for being here, guys.
welcome.
That's it for this episode of Gas Docuseries. It was an amazing conversation. Thank you for watching this, and as always, like, share, subscribe. And if you've not registered for the Great Africa Summit, you are missing out. Oh, don't miss out. Make sure that you register and get your tickets. And I want to thank our sponsor and partner for this program, SBD Global Media. Thank you so much for producing this for us. We're so grateful. Always a pleasure to work with SBD and Toyin. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For being here.
I thought you would tell me, so maybe I'll have my own part that I'll say, thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, no. You can say thank you now.
Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.
What he said. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.